Well, good morning, friends. Doing a bit of maintenance here. My name's Fred Green, and welcome back to Wilderness Adventures. There we go. How do I look? All right, I gotta get my sky piece back on. I tell you what, I just feel naked without it. There we go. Well, I tell you what, we're just gonna do some random projects here today. You know, I tell you, I had some chickens that grew up, and one of them was a male. And of course, Webster had a problem with that. You see all the spots over here where they were fighting? So I need to keep close to the farm here, and all of these other male chicks, we might have to get them into other pens, right? Into some of our other animal pens if we want to keep them around for a little bit. Or what I did with our other friend was off camera, turn him into, well, some really good food. Well, that is the way of the world, I think. So, we'll keep a close eye on that. I tell you what, I'm going to do some gathering, right? We're plumb out of our wood products and whatnot, so I think I'm going to go down, got a couple of trees here, keep my weight up, and boy, maybe we can go on a fishing trip. We'll create a good dock for that. Actually, there's a number of projects. We've got create sort of a, we're going to call it a butchery. I don't know about that, right? Where we'll keep our hook and animal remains and whatnot out of sight from the rest of our critters. We've got to create a housing for our blacksmithy, something like that. And a huge dock that I think we might create way out over here. That's where it might go out towards the center of this lake. See, look at all that out there. I don't know if you can see it, but that is some of the next projects we've got to do while on our farm. And we've got two major decisions we would like to make if we don't do both of them. One of them is to go out and search for a digital watch. Gonna see if anyone else is growing up. Two major decisions. One of them is to go out and search for a digital watch so we can do work on agriculture. Or the other one is to go out and find a mattress, and then we build a bed and the bed frame and create a full bed. So, let's check on these growing chickens here. All right, we'll just keep working on clearing out this lake here. Maybe we'll build another dock as well. I never thought I'd be doing so many wood chopping projects. And sort of a rough count of our nail situation. We've got about 270 nails. So definitely good that we've got a forge going, because we are going to have to create some nails of our own, depending on how big our projects get. But at least all of our animals have a place to live. Oh, and I tell you what, we'll finish the roof on that pig pen. Use up the rest of these axes, and then we'll move to our hatchets and keep up with that. Well, good thing I brought a whole nother axe. There we go. All right, well, favorite part, hauling all this back. All right, I'll see you in just a moment, friends. Okay, all right, sawed up a number of those logs that we cut down, a couple of trees there. So, I'll tell you what, let's finish the roof to the pig pen here. Make sure it's nice and wide, and then we'll give it some poles. Or maybe we'll see how it looks without the poles, I guess. All right. We will put one right over here. There we go. And then we're going to go one wide the whole way around here. That way it'll cover up the stairs, cover up this a little bit, and we'll see how that looks. And I'll put some leaves on it, make it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, I guess. There we go. All right, let us take a peek at what that looks like. There we go. Very goofy. We'll see what happens. They got these trees that are growing up. Maybe that'll start to cover it here. All right, we'll see if that does it. If we need one more row, we can do that as well. Well, on to the next project. All right, trying to clean up a little bit in between some of these pastures here, laying grass cuttings down. I'm thinking that deters the critters from wanting to really overeat outside of their trough and whatnot. But hey, a lot of science experiments that I'm trying, so we're going to do that for the sheep. See how they're just overeating even though we have everything right there? I know there's a lot of critters in that particular pasture, but it worked for the cows. So let's try it and see if it keeps working here. Well, sometimes you just have to do little experiments just to make sure you're sane, keep yourself occupied, and, helping others learn just in case they're wanting to go down a similar path of crafting and creating and companionship with other animals. And boy, makes everything look a little more nice and well put together. And we got this little tree growing right here. I think we'll take care of that. There we go. All right, day is wearing on. I tell you what, I still have this axe. It's doing all right. Let me cut down 2 more trees, get all that wood over here, maybe processed before the end of the day. And then tomorrow, let's start building up that dock a little bit, see what we can do. All right, my friends. Well, good morning. Looks like we woke to a pretty good storm that's brewing outside, and we'll see how long we keep out there. And I don't know how cold it is, truly, so let's get this going. I created a couple of big meals, one real big one last night before bed. I'm going to create another one right now just to get my weight stabilized again after all the woodworking we've been doing. And we'll see where we're at in terms of building that dock. Right now I got a couple more trees cut down. So we'll go out and check on those chickens and make sure any new males aren't fighting with each other. Got to separate them for a little bit and then we'll, and that's a farm life there. We're just going to have to deal with that. So let that cook. Let's go grab a drink of water outside, check out chickens and see what we're doing. Oh boy, look at that. Wind chill and everything. Well, I don't think I want to go out there too much today. All right, we will put out this fire for now. We'll see how we do without it. Okay. There's about 2,000 calories right here after another 2,400 I ate last night. Let's see what happens. There we go. That'll do it. Okay, good thing to know. Anyone else who's attempting a big old wilderness adventure like that, you really have to watch your weight. You saw it go down, and, well, we have the resources now to keep it up, but... boy. Yeah, chickens are starting to wake up. Maybe I create a little, well... Ooh. We'll try to do as much animal care as we can. Change your plans today, isn't it? Okay. Here is another male. Tell you what, until we can really figure him out, let's put him in here for the moment. There we go. All right. Well, that's probably going to be what we're monitoring, is all these males growing up. We'll keep one or so in each of the other pens. And any extras, we really do have to just be careful about. All right, here's another one. We'll let Webster rule this roost. And we'll see if we can't make maybe another hutch or something in each of these, or just a full separate hutch and really have all sorts of chickens around. Okay. There we go. Okay, so far my temperature is doing all right, despite it, I'm sure, being cold. Mighty response in. There we go. Just in case anyone really wondered what was going on. Oh, look at that. That is way easier to monitor. Probably not as fun, though, huh? There's Webster. Interesting. Ah, well, the more you know. How dirty are we and how many eggs do we have? That's what I need to know. Okay, plenty of eggs. Again, we're just gonna take them. We have enough dirtiness, it's okay. All right, good to go. Well, so far my moodles are doing all right, so let's process this wood here, at least to get that out of the way. At least for the pig pen, we didn't have any rain or inclement weather to deal with. Boy, it seemed like the whole bit of my journey, every time I wanted to create something, I just had to do it in pouring rain, but here we go. There we go. Now, the pasture for the cows, that is pretty darn big, so I tell you what, let us go ahead and make a second chicken hutch right there, and just keep, one male or so on hand. Always better to have two options, sort of like having two kidneys or two eyeballs or something like that, in case one goes. All right, as we recall, it is a hammer, 5 planks, and 5 nails. All right, let's grab 5 planks here. Good a spot as any. And if we needed to make more troughs and whatnot, we sure can as well. Okay. There we have it. That was easy enough. Oh, look at all them. They're just hanging out. Oh, it worked. Look at that. Hey. Good to know everything is working out just fine. Boy, I don't know why I doubted myself, but I sure did, didn't I? Let's get everyone in here and let's get ourselves inside. We're not doing anything else for the rest of the day. We'll let this storm go over. My goodness. All right, nice and cozy in here, I think. All right, well, while we're forced to stay inside here, I suppose we're not forced. I will pick a moment where I might move those planks at least up where we're going to build our pier tomorrow. Or today. Let's check our tailoring and see what we can do with the items we have on hand. Now, I don't have any knitting needles, though in here I do have regular needles. I don't have a loom and all of that. So, I wonder if we create another couple right over here. Let's move these sacks. There we go. Sacks of sand. We'll move them up over here and let these cover it so it doesn't look just quite so cluttered. So how about spinning wheel? Here we go. Long sticks, planks. Allows us to spin thread or yarn from flax or wool. Well, let us create that for the moment. My goodness, it is dreadful out here. All right, we'll keep monitoring those chickens. Make sure we separate the males. There we go. Boy, I bet you guys probably couldn't even hear me out there. Okay. All right, long sticks. Let's put our planks down here. Oh, tell you what, maybe it's close enough to where we're going. Oh boy, I don't know. The feng shui of this cabin is a little off in my opinion, but then what can you do about it? Okay, long sticks. Can I make long sticks with the saplings? We've got plenty of those. Carve long sticks. All right. All right. Might as well sit down and enjoy myself right here as the rain goes by. Okay. We have our 3 long sticks. We've got 4 planks over here. Let's just make our our spinning wheel right here. Carpentry level 5. Well, we've got that in spades, don't we? Okay. Well, we can still get to our bed. There we go. Okay. Let's take a peek at its inventory, see what we can do here. Spin thread from wool, spin thread from flax, and spin yarn from wool. Okay. Now, do we need thread or wool? Let's check out, right? We are contemplating making a bed. So, furniture. Okay, make a wooden bed, which we need the mattress. That is the biggest part. Sew a mattress. All right, which takes a needle, 5 uses of thread, 5 sheets. We've got 4 in there. Now, those are easy enough to find. It is these pillows. See how many embedded little different things. I can make just a regular pillow. I would imagine they're the same thing, so... Sew a pillow, which takes tailoring level 1. Cotton fabric, look at that. Alright, well, I cannot find it within these inventories. And sometimes that happens, and this is what makes me want to pull all of my hair out. You have to find the working station, just like this spinning wheel. Wow, storm is pretty crazy. Anyone else been through a crazy storm like this? I know we've been through a number of them, but boy, this one seems just a little bit different, I think. Probably because they have so many animals to take care of. My goodness. All right. I guess we have a little bit of a break here. Let me check and see if there's any more adult male chickens, and, well, we'll call it an evening here. All right, my friends. Boy, mild devastation there with the rain, but I guess that's what happens. Well, let me figure out more about the tailoring here while I'm in the comfort of my cabin. And tomorrow, if the weather's good, we will use the resources we have to start a pier. And then we'll have a fishing expedition at some point pretty soon here. How about that? All right, my friends. See you in the morning. Well, good morning, friends. Looks like a lot of the storm has passed right now. I'm going to grab a lot of these planks and bring them up to start our crafting project for the pier. I did some research with the tailoring, and as far as I'm concerned at the moment, I cannot create a cotton fabric roll. That is something I am going to have to try to find. So once again, we are at a point where We're going to put these planks down right here. Do we go out and find, well, both of those items, because it'll be hair-raising and risky and all that, and might create a bit of drama. Right, we've got to get a digital watch to know the time and date, and weather, and we need a cotton fabric roll or a mattress or something like that to create our bed. So, let me know which one you would like me to focus on first, if at all. Or are we satisfied with these little projects here at Greener Pastures? And speaking of a little project, let's create a wooden sign here. There we go. Been meaning to do this. Alright, we'll see if we can't write on that after we get this wood up here. Well, looks like the rain is still coming, but at least the storm is not reared its ugly head quite yet. Ooh, I wonder if I need a paintbrush and paint. Ooh, there we go. A third thing to think about. Alright, grabbing these planks, but I heard a bit of fighting over here. Let's see what we got. Aha! Found another one. Alright, Webster, don't worry. Okay, we've got one in the cows, one in the sheep, and we'll have one in the pigs. Okay. At least we'll keep you safe for the moment, though. Probably won't be for long. Alright. Well, not the best weather to be doing a project like this, but I tell you what, we'll end on a note of using the available resources we've got. We'll make it a 2-wide pier here. There we go. And we'll just go out for a ways. Alright, and I think what we'll do is we'll get out to the middle. We'll create a little shed over there, storage and whatnot, and then we'll have another good source of food, and all along the pier we can create some of the traps and whatnot, and just be ready to go. Alright. Never mind, it is dreadful out here. Well, let's finish this batch, and then we'll call it a day. Alright, well, that's about as far as we're going to go today. There we go. We'll drop that right there and get inside so I can talk to you a little bit better. Okay, well, we created a sign here. We created a little bit of a pier sign I can't do much to, just because I can't write on it. But if we find paint and a brush, we can at least make a symbol on that, just because we're going with no real mods or anything like that. We've got a spinning wheel. Can't really create a fabric roll, so there are some items that we can go out and search if we ever want to. So we'll get a number of these projects all sorted out here, take a couple of days to work on them, and then I will see you next time on Wilderness Adventures. Alright, my friends, bye-bye now.
Hey mates, thanks for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did. If you like what you saw, please go ahead, leave a comment, subscribe, and definitely come back for another video. I really appreciate your time and support, and I can't wait to take you on another adventure. Thank you so much.